Imagine humans who never experience stress, anxiety, or mental chatter. They'd live in permanent flow state, calm, present, effortlessly skilled at everything they do. Sounds like paradise, right? But what if I told you they'd also be incapable of urgency, planning for danger, or pushing through difficult challenges? They might be the most zen and most vulnerable beings ever conceived. Today we're diving into what might be the most seductive brain state we've examined: pure alpha wave consciousness. These humans would be living meditation masters, but would they be wise sages or beautiful sitting ducks? Let's find out. Alpha waves operate at 8 to 12 Hz, the frequency of relaxed awareness and flow states. In normal humans, alpha waves dominate during relaxed but alert awareness, flow states and effortless performance, light meditation and mindfulness, creative problem solving, present moment focus, the transition between sleep and waking. Alpha consciousness represents the sweet spot between the dreamy theta realm and the busy beta world. It's where we feel most naturally human, aware but not anxious, focused but not forced. Our alpha-only humans would be permanently locked in this state in both hemispheres, living in perpetual flow but unable to access higher energy problem-solving or deeper mystical states. These humans would be natural masters of any skill they attempted. Alpha waves are the frequency of effortless competence when you're in the zone. Physical activities would come naturally to them. Sports, dancing, martial arts, playing instruments. They'd learn these skills with an ease that would seem supernatural to the rest of us. They'd be present-moment geniuses, incredibly skilled at whatever they're doing right now, but only while they're doing it. Like human embodiments of the phrase, "be here now." Their movements would be fluid, graceful, and economical. No wasted energy, no awkwardness, no fighting against themselves. Everything would flow naturally. Emotionally, these alpha-only humans would be remarkably stable and peaceful. Stress would be literally impossible for them to experience. Alpha waves are the antithesis of stress response. They'd remain calm in situations that would panic normal humans. Anger wouldn't compute. Alpha consciousness is too balanced for the spike in arousal that anger requires. They might feel mild disappointment, but never rage. They'd be naturally compassionate because alpha states promote feelings of connection and understanding, but without the intensity of deeper emotional states, anxiety would be foreign to them. They'd live in permanent acceptance of whatever situation they found themselves in. Their relationship to time would be beautifully simple, but problematic. They'd live entirely in the present moment, not through disciplined practice like meditation masters, but because alpha consciousness naturally anchors awareness in the now. Planning ahead would be extremely difficult because it requires higher energy brain states they can't access. They might start planning but drift into peaceful acceptance of whatever happens. Learning from the past would be limited. They could remember events, but wouldn't have the mental energy to analyze patterns or extract lessons that require sustained focus. Their way of relating to others would be deeply attractive, but ultimately limiting. They'd be wonderful listeners, fully present, non-judgmental, naturally empathetic. People would feel heard and understood in their presence. Conflict resolution would be their superpower. Alpha consciousness promotes harmony and cooperation. They'd naturally find middle ground and peaceful solutions. But deep intellectual discussions would be challenging. They couldn't maintain the sustained mental energy needed for complex debates or philosophical exploration. They'd be emotionally available but in a consistent, moderate way. Never the heights of passionate love or the depths of profound grief. In professional settings, these alpha-only humans would be both ideal and problematic. They'd excel at routine tasks that require sustained, moderate focus. Data entry, assembly work, customer service. They'd never get stressed or burned out. Creative work would flow naturally from them, but only at a moderate level. They'd produce pleasant, harmonious art, but might lack the intensity for truly groundbreaking creativity. Leadership roles would be difficult because they couldn't generate the high-energy decision-making and strategic thinking that leadership often requires. They'd be the most pleasant co-workers imaginable. Never dramatic, always cooperative, naturally good at teamwork. Here's where their limitations would become dangerous. In emergencies, they wouldn't have access to the fight-or-flight response that requires higher brain frequencies. They might remain calm in a house fire, literally too calm to save themselves. They couldn't generate urgency even when urgency is appropriate. Missing deadlines, ignoring warning signs, failing to recognize genuine threats. Competitive situations would be challenging because competition requires higher energy states they can't access. They'd be naturally cooperative even when competition is necessary. Their approach to personal development would be peaceful but limited. They'd be excellent at skill-based learning that happens in flow states, physical skills, artistic techniques, practical abilities. But transformative learning that requires wrestling with difficult concepts or pushing through frustration would be nearly impossible. They'd accept their limitations with serene equanimity rather than working to overcome them. This could be wisdom or stagnation, depending on your perspective. These alpha-only humans would represent the ultimate seductive trap of consciousness. Everyone would want to be around them. They'd be naturally calming, pleasant, and stress-free. Their presence would make others feel more relaxed and balanced. They'd seem to have solved the human condition. No anxiety, no inner conflict, no stress, no suffering. They'd appear to be living examples of perfect mental health, but they'd also be fundamentally limited in their capacity for growth, innovation, and adaptation. They'd be beautiful butterflies who couldn't survive winter. From Julian Jaynes's bicameralism theory, these humans might represent a particular phase of consciousness evolution. Alpha consciousness could be seen as the natural state humans are meant to inhabit most of the time. Balanced, present, flowing, cooperative. Our modern beta-dominant culture might be the aberration, all stress and mental chatter with little access to natural flow states. But alpha-only consciousness would lack the adaptive flexibility that allowed humans to survive and thrive in changing environments. The central question these humans would pose: is constant peace worth the cost of adaptive capability? They'd be sitting ducks for anyone who wanted to exploit their inability to generate defensive responses or recognize manipulation. Climate change, economic disruption, social conflict. They'd be poorly equipped to handle any situation requiring sustained effort or strategic thinking. They'd need protection from more high-energy humans, but those same humans might resent or exploit their peaceful nature. These alpha-only humans would reveal what many of us are unconsciously seeking: escape from the stress and mental noise of modern life into permanent flow state. Meditation practices, mindfulness apps, flow state training. We're all trying to access more alpha consciousness in our lives. But we want it as an option, not as a permanent limitation. We want to be able to shift into higher gears when necessary. They'd show us that even our most desired states of consciousness have profound costs when they become our only option. The real wisdom might be learning to access alpha consciousness reliably while maintaining ability to shift to other states when needed. Most people live in chronic beta overdrive, stressed, anxious, mentally noisy, rarely accessing flow states. These alpha-only humans would be our teachers for how to inhabit peaceful awareness. But we'd also need to teach them about appropriate activation and healthy striving. Perfect consciousness might require the ability to flow between states as situations demand. Alpha for flow and presence, beta for problem-solving and planning, theta for creativity and healing, delta for deep rest and renewal. Perhaps these alpha-only humans would be living reminders of what we're missing in our hyperactivated culture. They'd show us what it feels like to be truly present, naturally skilled, emotionally balanced, and inherently peaceful. But they'd also demonstrate that consciousness needs range and flexibility to navigate life's full spectrum of challenges and opportunities. The goal isn't to become alpha-only humans, but to learn from them how to access flow states more easily while maintaining our adaptive capabilities when needed. This exploration reveals both the beauty and limitations of living in permanent flow state. When do you feel most naturally in alpha consciousness? What activities put you in flow? And here's an interesting question. If you could guarantee permanent inner peace but give up your ability to feel urgency or push through challenges, would you make that trade? Share your thoughts in the comments. If these consciousness explorations are changing how you think about your own mental states, subscribe and share with others. We're mapping the full spectrum of human awareness, and maybe start paying attention to your own alpha moments, those times when you're relaxed but alert, flowing but focused. You might discover you have more access to this peaceful state than you realize. See you in the next exploration.